Hey guys, and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money. Today I'm going to be doing a budget with me video where I show you how my budget is set up so that you can understand A, how to start your own budget, and B, how this kind of works in practice. So we're going to be looking at my actual March budget for 2020. I'm going to be showing you guys this on my printable pen and paper template that you can download for yourself at the link in the description. I also have a spreadsheet version of this, and truthfully, I use the spreadsheet version. I don't use the pen and paper version because that's my personal style, but you can get either version at the link in the description of this video. So I'll be taking you through every step of my budget that starts with your income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, and finally savings, as well as showing you guys how you're going to keep track of these things as you go through the month spending your money. So I'll throw you over my shoulder and let's get started. So step one, as always, we're going to start with our income. I've already written mine down. It's the exact same every paycheck. And I wrote in the dates so that I know when I'll have access to that money. And I just totaled them up below. So once I filled out everything else, the fixed costs, variable costs, and savings, it should all add up to be the same or less than this main amount. Today I'll go in order. I recommend that you start with your fixed costs because those are the easiest and they're the ones you tend to already know. So I know that I pay the same amount in rent every month, so I'll put that there as a fixed cost, and that is $900. And I know that I'll pay that on the 1st of the next month. Then I pay the same for car and renter's insurance. Those are bundled, so they go together for me, and that's always $86. And it comes out of my bank account on the 13th. Okay. Next, I have my phone bill, which is always $45, and I pay that halfway through the month. And finally, I have my subscriptions. Those for me are just a Patreon that I donate to, and then the Human Rights Campaign that I donate a small amount to monthly, and those come out to $8 a month, and they both come out around the same date, so I just put an estimation there. They'll come out the 21st. Then the next thing I recommend you do is go to your variable costs. For me, I have my groceries, and I always budget $180 for groceries. I split those in half with my partner, and that always ends up being about right, although sometimes we go over. For restaurants and going out, I always budget $200. For my gas bill, always ends up being at or under $110. And then I used to budget my utilities and my fixed costs before I realized that I actually pay a different amount for them every month. So I budget about $70 because that's a very generous estimation of how much I spend on utilities. And then I have $90 for anything else that I might want or need during the month. So for that all together, I'll put $160. Now we're going to go over to the savings and investments. I recommend you do this last because you do need to know what you're going to pay other people before you know what you're going to pay yourself. In my budget spreadsheet, though, I keep it right next to my income because I do want these to be the things that you have your mind set on. Okay, and if you have debt to repay, that might go in your, the minimum would go in your fixed costs, and then you could add the rest that you're paying towards it in your variable costs. By the way, I'm debt free now, thank God, so I don't have a column for that at the moment. Now for my savings, I've got my retirement account, which is my Roth IRA, and this month I'm putting $550 towards it. That's been my standard. That will go up once I finish out my emergency fund. And then for gifts, I always budget $60 a month. Some people don't do gifts as a line to save for every month, but I have a huge family, so I'm one of 5 siblings, so gifts are a big deal. I need to save a lot of money for them, so I do it once a month instead of cash flowing it in, November and December when you're buying the gifts. Next up, I've got my travel fund. and that is this month going to be $100. This is something I'm looking forward to going up also when I have my emergency fund complete. Then I've got my car fund, and I'm putting $300 a month towards that, just to get a solid amount to pay for a whole car in cash, or at least a very hefty down payment. That's what that one's for. And I'm still saving for my emergency fund. So that will be $200 this month. This is a very standard month for me in terms of what I have to spend on. I don't have any unexpected stuff. So these are kind of the ideal amounts for my savings, is what you're seeing here, as well as the same kind of standard stuff for my fixed and variable costs. Now I'm just going to total each of these up. So we'll start with the variable costs. We got 180 plus 200 plus 110 plus 160. And that comes out to $650 a month. Then for our fixed costs, we have $900 for rent, plus car renter's insurance, plus phone, plus my subscriptions, and that comes out to $1,039. And finally, we have all my savings, $550 plus 60 plus 100 plus 300 plus 200. And that comes out to 1,210. So now I'm just going to total up what's going in my savings, my fixed expenses, and my variable costs, and make sure that that total is lower than this. So we've got savings at 1,210 plus fixed expenses 1,039 plus variable expenses 650. And that comes out to a grand total of $2,899, which is in fact lower than this. And what I do with that excess right now, I'm just building up a buffer in my checking account so that between paychecks, I'm never running out of money or overdrafting. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my actual March budget. You'll notice that these numbers are totally just second nature to me. I don't have to play around with it much because I know exactly where I'm spending my money, and this comes from years of budgeting. So I've been doing this is my second year full-time doing this, and my March budget was really standard in a lot of ways. It had kind of the ideal amounts that I wanted to put in savings because there aren't any unexpected expenses that I knew were coming up this month. We'll see as the month goes on though, because we know, as always, that our budget is a living, breathing thing and not a set it and forget it type thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If any of those steps confused you, make sure that you check out my budgeting basics and resources video for some clarification. I think that really takes you through all the ways to start, and then this is a good video to view to see how it works in practice. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me on the channel. I'm thrilled you're here. Make sure to subscribe below if you want to see more Budget With Me videos and more content that is specifically about teacher finances. See you guys next week.